Well, we're officially screwed. Hey, I thought 30th anniversary was going to almost continue down the same vein as 25th anniversary. Like when I first saw those classic collection cards get released, when I saw the big 30th anniversary logo, and I thought, well, nothing's really changed. It looks all the same as 25th anniversary. And no doubt we're going to get a sort of weak main set and it's going to be small and easy pull rates. And then the leaks came. Man, this set is going to define some things for us in the collecting and Pokemon investing space. That is one thing that we can say for certain. So let's discuss that. What is going to happen to the market when this 30th anniversary drops? Let's talk all things 30th anniversary. Here's my first point about the whole thing. I think this is exactly what collectors wanted, and investors really. It's, and let's go back. We talked 25th anniversary, so let's go back to 25th anniversary. When 25th anniversary came out, it was sought after only really because it was an anniversary set. That was really the only reason. Yeah, okay, it had the base set Charizard and Venusaur and Blastoise reprints, but it didn't really have much. And to prove my point here, if we take away the classic collection and just look at the main set here on 25th anniversary, you had what, a gold Mew, it's worth nearly $70. And you have a few Pikachu cards, which at the time were worth, like, they were pretty much junk bulk when it first came out because they were that easy to pull. It's only just recently that they've gone up to like, $4, $5, $6 a card. It's still not much though. So all we had inside the main set to chase was a gold Mew, and that was it. And even back in the time in 2021, it wasn't expensive, that gold Mew. And it got less expensive as more and more got opened and more hit the market. And it was just like, well, there's nothing really there to chase. And then the classic collection was sort of cool. There was, of course, those reprints that I mentioned of the original base set trio, but no cards are really worth heaps of money in there. And oddly enough, they're still not worth heaps of money. There's only 2 cards in the whole classic collection. They're both above $100, but they're also the only 2 cards above $50. So you've literally got 3 cards throughout the whole set from classic collection and the main set that are worth more than $50 raw. It's really quite a weak set. However, look how good it's performed as a sealed product recently. It is really shot up in price. And if a weak anniversary set in the grand scheme of things can do that, what's a strong set going to do? And that's what almost excites me about this 30th anniversary, because this is different. This is way different. So let's have a look at the cards. Some of them got leaked. I'll show them up on the screen here. It's the booklet that you get inside the Elite Trainer box. As we all know, the classic collection cards have been leaked a little while ago, but the main set is what's been leaked. And there are so many good cards inside here. Like the classic collection alone, Gengar Prime, Shining Celebi, Crystal Lugia, Delta Species Metagross, which you seem to pull out of every pack back then. Even the classic collection cards are cool. I wish we'd done something different with the Charizard. We've now got another base set Charizard. Maybe it would be cool if we got a full art, SIR version of that card. Maybe it'd be cool if we got a remake maybe on a Gold Star Charizard or even Dark Charizard from Team Rocket. If we got a remake of that rather than the base set again. That's about the only miss I can really see from the classic collection and also the set as a whole. It would have been so cool if we got a Dark Charizard, in my opinion. Regardless, we then move on to the main set, and this is where the magic happens. This is again the leak from the Elite Trainer box, the set list that you get inside there, and as you can see, there are some really cool cards inside here. There's there's the Sylveon. I love the Gengar. That's a cool looking card. You've got the 3 original legendary birds where the artwork lines up with each other. The Mew inside here is just next level. The Mewtwo is the best Mewtwo artwork we've seen. I think it's a way better Mewtwo SIR than what we saw in both Destined Rivals and Ascended Heroes. So it's the best Mewtwo we've seen in a while. There's just not much to complain about with this set. I mean, it's what the collectors have wanted. They've hit the nail on the head here. Again, if I have one and only gripe, it is that Charizard to redo it, I think is a little bit of a miss. But that's literally the only, I'm picking the eyes out of it here. If that's your only gripe, or if that's my only gripe with the set, I mean, what's it going to do? And that's the big question. What's it going to do? To circle back to my first point about 25th anniversary, how well that's performed as a sealed product after only 5 years being out, considering it's quite a weak set. How good is the 30th anniversary going to perform in that same sort of time frame? So let's talk about that. Before we do though, I did want to give a shout out to today's video sponsor, which is of course the Collector app. There'll be a link in the description to download it. The Collector is the one-stop app for all your collecting investing needs. You can follow my journey down in the content creator section. You can put all your singles, all your sealed product inside there. It shows you your whole portfolio, what it's worth. You can track that daily, how it's performing. You can see how all singles and sealed product are performing. You can look at set analytics, which in my eyes is super, super important to the future value of sealed products, knowing the set analytics and the total set value of any given set. You can work out trades inside the app. As a pro user, there's so much more data you unlock. It's just the one-stop app for everything you need. Again, link in the description for that one. So we've established that it's what collectors wanted. We've also established that it's going to, from paper, be much, much stronger than the 25th anniversary. It's also at a time where I think there's more people in the hobby now than what there was back at the 25th anniversary. So as an investment, I think anniversary products are super, super, super strong. So what have we got? What have we got inside here? We're going to have Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box, we're going to have regular Elite Trainer Box, and we're going to have these beautiful UPCs as well as booster bundles. Like there's going to be so much product to choose from. So I think if you can realistically, if you can get your hands on anything at retail price, it's going to be a phenomenal investment really. I suppose if we almost tier rank them, those UPCs in my opinion look absolutely phenomenal. From what I can tell as well, you get some guaranteed classic collection packs inside those UPCs. So what it means, you're guaranteed classic collection cards. I think there's 2 packs. Forgive me if I'm wrong, or correct me if I'm wrong, I should say. I haven't done heaps of research into that, but the UPCs, classic collection cards are normally scattered amongst the normal set, which I think are 5-card booster packs, aren't they? And then the classic collection booster packs that you get in the UPCs are 3-card booster packs. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. And you will you'll be guaranteed classic collection cards inside the UPCs. Coupled with that, it does look ultra premium. That's the whole idea behind a UPC, an ultra premium collectible, and that will be a very collectible item, coupled with the fact that it has some very, very nice promos. The day and the night, I love the idea behind that with Espeon and Umbreon. That is a phenomenal idea. I think these UPCs will be great investments. We can already see what they're listed for on the secondary market. Like I've seen them in eBay Australia for like 1,400 Australian dollars, people asking for them. I haven't checked recently, but that was literally the day of release where you could pre-order them for, I think they were $600 at eBay Games, which is about 400 US. And straight away they're on eBay for 1,400, which is like $1,000 US. It's just insane, 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 insane. The Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box will be a phenomenal investment as well, and as will the regular Elite Trainer Box. That's probably how I'd rank them, to be honest. UPC, Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box, regular Elite Trainer Box, and then probably booster bundles. And if booster bundles come in a display box, I think they'll be a great investment. We've seen how that's played out with 151. They proved to be really, really strong investments there. That brings us to the next point though, and trying to get product. We all know from release day, we all know from pre-order day how impossible it was to get products. I'm still working on trying to get some myself, so if you know anyone, flick them my way. I'd love to get some Elite Trainer Boxes and in particular some UPCs in the pipeline. So we all know it's going to be difficult to get. We know that it's going to move from primary market to secondary market straight away, and I talk about that. I've talked about this in multiple videos recently, that's where you see the first initial price jump of a sealed investment in the Pokemon investing space. Is as soon as it moves from the primary market to the secondary market, boom, you get a massive jump up. Now normally that takes a bit of time, and that's why sets like Perfect Order, Chaos Rising haven't moved really from retail price, because they're still in the hands of the primary market. You can log on to stores and buy them. You can go into shops and buy them. It's the first products in a while that we've seen sitting at stores. Now they won't take a price hike until they move to the secondary market. So once all online stores sell them, once all brick and mortar stores sell them, and they're finally in the hands of the secondary market, only then will they move up in price a little bit. And moreover than that, then it becomes the sentiment from the secondary market how much they like that set. If the set is really, really liked, something like Evolving Skies, something like Team Up, something like Prismatic Evolutions, then it'll jump up in price really quickly. If it's not that liked or not that good a sentiment from the community, it can still stay low and that first initial jump isn't even that great. But what we'll see here with, of course, the 30th anniversary, straight from the primary market straight to the secondary market. And that's where we're seeing huge price jumps straight out of the gate. We're even seeing stores asking almost unseen of prices for the 30th anniversary. So with all that in mind, the fact that sealed product will be really hard to get, I think this will have a bit of an impact on the singles. I think the singles will actually stay pretty expensive for quite some time. Now, of course, we don't know pull rates yet, and this will have a very big impact on how singles prices perform. But given the demand for this, given we've got multiple SIRs with some very nice looking SIRs, it's not just like there's one individual chase card. It's not just going to be everyone's going to be chasing that Mew. I mean, look at Paldean Fates. You go, look how Paldean Fates has performed with literally a Bubble Mew, a Charizard, a Gardevoir, and a few baby shinies. This is so much stronger than Paldean Fates. You've got a card arguably in a Mew that's every bit as nice looking as Bubble Mew. You've got Gengar, you've got Sylveon, you've got Mewtwo, you've got Pikachu, you've got the legendary birds, you've got classic collection cards. The singles are going to stay high in this set. Normally what happens when a set first comes out, more product gets opened, of course, singles prices seems to tank. Look at Chaos Rising, look at Perfect Order. They're almost back to normality, so to speak. Sets like Ascended Hero, sets like Prismatic Evolutions, they've been bucking the trend a little bit because they're so damn popular. And I think this will do the same. I think singles inside this set will stay high for a while. Now, this all depends on the next point I wanted to make, which is print runs. We don't know what the print runs will be. I think from a marketing point of view, from a business point of view, from the Pokemon Company International, it's not going to make any sense to leave money on the table here. They know they're onto a winner. They would have, although we don't know who they are, surely they would have listened to feedback around the 25th anniversary and go, you know what, you guys sort of missed there a bit. And this time, they're making sure they damn well don't. And they haven't. They haven't missed. And as a result, you want to cash in on that hype as much as you can. We know there's new printing facilities underway. How much this will get printed is anyone's guess. Will it always just be absorbed because there's so much demand for it? Who knows? That is the one unknown that we don't know is print runs. So where does that leave us? From a big picture standpoint, if we zoom out, anniversary products have always performed well. 25th anniversary, even though it was a weak product, performed really well. 20th anniversary, which was a stronger set than 25th, that is at unseen prices. It is. I remember when I started, I was nearly going to pull the trigger on a 20th anniversary Elite Trainer box, but I was like, it's just a little bit dear. And I could buy something else with that. And look, I'm sort of glad I did because it's performed better. I made the right decision then. I can literally remember I wanted to get all 4 tag team booster boxes from Sun and Moon era. This is back at the start of 2021. And they jumped up a little bit because they were popular. Like Pokemon was just, as that COVID starting to come into play and Pokemon was just starting to pick up with popularity. And the 20th anniversary Elite Trainer boxes, they were sitting around like $500 to $600 Australian dollars, about $550 Australian dollars, which is about 400 US or high 300s. And for the same price, or actually less than that, I could buy a Unified Minds, an Unbroken Bonds, or a Cosmic Eclipse booster box. And I chose to go the booster boxes because I prefer I prefer investing in booster boxes over Elite Trainer boxes. And hey, I'm glad I did because Cosmic Eclipse, we all know what's happened with those booster boxes. And they were a bit cheaper. They were more like, high 200s or 300 US dollars at the time. Point remains though, that 20th anniversary Elite Trainer box has absolutely blown out of the water. That is not a cheap Elite Trainer box. Very, very expensive. But the point remains there, and this is circling back to a really important investment take almost, is that at that time, the 20th anniversary Elite Trainer box, because it had jumped in price so rapidly, the gains you would have then received off it, if I'd invested it back in 2020, so that's 6 years ago, versus the gains I would have got from buying a Cosmic Eclipse, Unified Minds, or Unbroken Bonds booster box, it was actually better for one of those booster boxes. Yes, it was 20th anniversary. Yes, it was hyped. Yes, it was a unique product, but it made massive, massive gains out of the gate. So I guess if we transfer that to now, all that information. 30th anniversary will be a standout investment. Like, it'll be so good long term. Again, we don't know how much it's going to be printed, but long term, it'll go down as a phenomenal investment. If you buy in at a high price point, keep in mind that you will need to wait some time to realize some gains. And that's the point I was trying to make around that 20th anniversary Elite Trainer box versus buying, a good booster box like Cosmic Eclipse, is that sometimes something good that's a bit cheaper and less hyped can work out to be a better long-term investment. So I think if you can buy any 30th anniversary at recommended retail price, what an absolute win, grab it. In the big picture, it'll stand out in 10 years' time as a set that brought so much hype back into the hobby, so many people back into the hobby. What are your thoughts below? Please let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts around it. I'm Michael, this is PokeOz. Thank you so much everyone for tuning in. Your support means a lot, and I'll catch everyone next time.